Happy Sunday, everybody. So, the Clippers versus the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz has been nothing but a hot streak lately. I don't know exactly what place they're in. I think they're like third, second seed. They, I believe they got like 8 wins or like 8-3 or something like that. They've been they've been going crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. And at least for this game, we we actually made it a more hard fought game rather than just getting blown out as, the Clippers last week or 2 weeks ago against the Oklahoma City Thunders. We actually put up a fight. Everybody was making shots. Um, Also, Vicha Zubac playing pretty good defense. Ball movement was amazing. However, just the last quarter, we just shot way too many threes. Our shot selections was just not it. We didn't go to the basket as much as that we should, and the Utah Jazz just pretty much prevail. And the Jazz players, man, they could not miss their threes. Clarkson was just, he was looking like Trae Young out here. But, anyways, let's get player by player, and I'll do a player analysis like how I usually do, but this time I just look up at the stats. So, Kelly Olynyk, that man, pretty solid player, playing pretty good defense. And, he shot 50% from three, 1 for 2, obviously. 9 points, nothing too much, but he did all around like 4 assists, which is not as crazy for a power forward or a center. Depends on how you want to categorize him. And, solid pickup. Markkanen. Markkanen was on a hot streak lately, but this time he was like a little bit more quiet. Like all the other games, he was dropping 30s, which is, man, oh man, that was wild. That was just crazy to see. And he made 1 3, hit his free throws, got rebounds, assists as well too. And he's been on a tear for the Utah Jazz lately. But now he wasn't as like crazy compared to the other nights, but he still did good regardless, which is the Jazz. Shout out to Danny Ainge. He knows how to make really good trades. He's the opposite of a lot of people who would just want to trade picks for superstars. Ainge is the polar opposite. When he sees like things goes wrong, and when you're not like going too far, he's not the type who would dig another team another hole and just trade for like a superstar. Like Danny Ainge could have easily just simply just went after a guy in, let's see any stars that got traded. Like he could have probably just, I don't know, just went crazy for a guy in Kevin Durant and just pair the big three with Mitchell and Gobert, but then they just traded all of their depth and it's just three superstars. They could have done that, but Angel's like, nah, let's just go for the picks and just start from scratch and just play some chess. And Ainge is one of the smartest general managers in the game. I could recall people be laughing at Danny Ainge when he did not trade it Jaylen Brown for Anthony Davis just so they could have had AD, Kyrie, and Tatum. And let's be real, Kyrie is a great player, one of the most unguardable players in the world, and I respect him for standing up for what he believes, but at the same time, he has a lot of moments of just disappearing from basketball. He just don't want to play basketball a lot of times, and sometimes he could disappear at occasional moments, but he's a great player regardless, but he's up in age. And yeah, Anthony Davis, he's really good, but at the same time, he gets hurt really easily, and he's also inconsistent from the 3-point arc, and sometimes he could be stopped a decent amount of times as well too. So then you would just have Tatum, the only player that's actually producing, and then the Celtics wouldn't have any depth too. They would have traded Marcus Smart as well too. Let's just say if Ainge fell for a debate, but Ainge was like, nah, let's just keep all the picks. Let's be homegrown. And the Celtics, they're looking pretty good. They got Tatum, Smart, Brown, Brogdon. Like, Ainge is one smart person, and that's just another reason on why the Clippers should not just trade out young guys like that, especially BJ and Musa. But anyways, just more shout out to Danny Ainge. Now let's go back to the player analysis. Mike Conley. Conley, he was lining it up. Conley, he usually, like sometimes, I mean, he doesn't really score as often as in this game. He got 17 points, and damn, 7 rebounds. That's wild. And of course, he got 4 assists and he got some steals. Like his shot was looking pretty solid tonight. Jordan Clarkson, he was their MVP. 6 for 9. Man, I got looking like Trae Young out here. I swear to goodness. Man, Malik Beasley, he hit some threes as well too. 10 points. Solid. Rudy Gay, I guess he was alright. Nothing too much. Walker Kessler, I feel Walker Kessler could be something solid within the future. Like, if I had to give a player comparison for Kessler, it could be like a Walmart Isaiah Hartenstein because how quick that dude is. Walker Kessler, he's a big man, but he is far from a slow big. He can sprint full court, just move real quick, and his defense could use a little bit of a work, but nevertheless, he has the agility to be a solid defender, and he made some solid dunks and putbacks, so which is a pretty solid future. And the Jazz made a right move by trading Rudy Gobert for 5 first-round picks. Like, how in the world why would you trade 5 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert? Rudy Gobert, honestly, he's one of the most overrated players I ever really seen in NBA just because, like, dude doesn't really, like, he cannot shoot threes. He would get killed in a pick and roll. Just ask Terrence Mann. And pretty much now he would struggle to post up a lot of times, which is, I don't know. Like, I don't know about the Wolves, but man, like, even though they had a young core, which is Karl-Anthony Towns and Edwards, it's still like for Rudy Gobert, like, man, $205 million too, crazy. And then Colin Sexton, he was also him and Clarkson was like partner in crime. Like, he was letting it up, 22 points. He flopped some of the plays, but whatever. But great player for the Utah Jazz. Nikhil, he was quiet and didn't do too much. Talon Horn Tucker didn't do much, but the Jazz, they played all around, and their 3-point shots, especially Clarkson, man, it was just hidden, just straight up hidden. And of course, like, they took advantage of our interior defense when Ivica Zubac was not on the floor. Something Tyronn Lue could have done by just playing Musa, but I mean, like, This loss is not as bad as compared to our other loss. But now let's go to the Clippers. Marcus Morris, he did phenomenal in this game. He was 50% from the field. Yeah, his 3-point is not pretty, but I like that how he kind of like just went more in the mid range and take it from there. I feel Marcus Morris is a lot better when he would just go in the mid range, do his turnaround, spin, fade away, and just, you know, drain a midi. Kind of like a Walmart Carmelo Anthony. And he was pretty much like he was our spark in this game. And I like the Clippers when they brought out the red headband and the red arm sleeves. Much better than the plain white arm sleeves, which is just so bland. And then you got Ivica Zubac, 6 for 12, 50%. Zubac, shout out to Zubac as well too. Yeah, he missed more shots than expected, but nevertheless, his defense was pretty darn good, and he was getting the rebounds, and 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 the way how the Clippers could feed Zubac, they could still find a lot of improvement, and they could try to improve by actually just like feeding Zubac, and sometimes they just force feed it too much, which result into a turnover, which Paul George could definitely work on. And but then let's get to Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson, he didn't take much shots. His defense was just not on par. But however, let's not slander Reggie Jackson. Let's not forget what Mr. June did against the Lakers and all these other games. Reggie Jackson just has hot and cold moments, and Reggie Jackson was our culture. He was a big time culture changer, and Reggie, I can tell he has the heart. So let's try to chill out with the Reggie slander, because sometimes some people they just have no chill. Last year they be slandering Ivica Zubac, Marcus Morris, and then summertime people be slandering Jay Scrubb, a 21-year-old who's just trying to make his name. And Jay Scrubb, on a side note, he balled out in a G League game, 28 points and 7 rebounds. Orlando got a good one. But going back to Reggie, like he has a lot of cold stretches, but at the same time, when he have his clutch moments, it will come. And then Paul George, amazing performance, but crunch moment though, he definitely took too much threes. And Paul George, he could definitely improve by just going to the basket a lot more often rather than just, especially when we were just like 102, 104. Paul George did not need to just shoot the threes. He could just simply drove to the basket and went to the free throw line, and we could have won the game. But that's just some hiccups that the Clippers could fix. And our 3-point percentage is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. But Paul George did good overall. His assist was pretty good, but at the same time, he turned the ball over too much. Just try to control that. And the rebounding was pretty good by Paul George. 34 points, which is crazy. Terrence Mann, a lot of y'all also need to chill on Terrence Mann, too. Like, people just saying Terrence Mann is trash, which is, man, that's just too far. I mean, if you say trade Terrence Mann for, like, a really good asset, maybe I could understand that, but saying Terrence Mann is trash? Man, just chill. Just chill. Just because he ain't an offensive player, let's not forget his defense and his effort. And this game, Terrence Mann just balled out. 7 for 8, which has got a lot of dunks, layups. Really efficient game from him. Shout out to T Hustle. I call T Hustle because he hustles a lot. Nick Batum, he had a more quieter night, but he did the little things. Got a block, some rebounds, assists, made 1 3. Robert Covington played 6 minutes. Obviously, just don't wanna put too much load on him. Just get him some runs. Norman Powell again. He's another guy who's getting slandered right now. He has hot and cold stretches. Like Norman Powell is definitely one of the guys we could definitely use as a trade asset to play a chess move, or we could just keep him. But honestly, we got guys like Brandon Boston Jr. who should be playing some minutes, so I don't mind trading some of our wings and shooting guards for a really good draft pick. And Noah Powell, though, when he gets hot, is just going to be gorgeous. But his game, he was just kind of off as well, too. And John Wall. John Wall was another guy who is one of the more of the positive players. Like, I know they're saying he's -11, which is, I mean, if you actually watch a game, he was pretty darn good. He was driving to the basket a good amount of times. But in the crunch time, Wall still, he kind of just fell in this, I don't know, like, he kind of just shot a lot of threes as well, too, which is something that Wall should not do too much. Like, despite his stats, his 3-point shot does not look like pretty good in terms of stats, but when he actually shoots threes, it's actually not so bad. Like, it's literally on point. Like, literally like it's like literally right on a dot, but it just falls out. But at least Wall, he definitely drove to the basket a lot of times. Something that Paul George should have definitely done during crunch time, but we still love PG, obviously. But that's something that's just like a minor thing that we could definitely fix. But nevertheless, it was unfortunate we lost. We definitely could have won this game easily. But at the same time, it's like we could have. People thought that we were gonna get blown out, but turns out the Clippers put up a good fight. But at the same time, it could have been easily fixed. Aside from Tyronn Lue's coaching, I'm trying to give Tyronn Lue like some break because I've been on Tyronn Lue a good amount of times. But just one thing though is just try to drive to the basket more. Like you could have at least got some calls and went through the free throw lines, especially during crunch time. Like especially when it's close. Obviously, when you're down by a lot, then might as well just try to shoot some threes, or at least when you're open, just take some. Then that's when you can start taking some threes. But just try to drive to the basket more. That's just some things I could ask for. But either way, let me know what you think about the Jazz beating the Clippers, and be sure to leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get with y'all in the comment section. As y'all know, peace.